Jos is the capital of Plateau State. Plateau State is in north central Nigeria. We call it the seat of the Middle Belt. And in Plateau State, we have 17 local governments. So you would say Jos has Jos North local government and Jos South local government. The two local governments are contiguous. And we can say for now, the seat of power is in Jos South local government. And over the years, Jos has been a city, a town for all Nigerians. It's a home of peace and tourism. It's a place that has a very clement weather, a very good place to live, very cosmopolitan, and a lot of Nigerians, all persuasion, who have found themselves in Jos one way or the other. From independence to date, a lot have settled in Jos because of the peaceful nature of the people, the indigenous population. And to the glory of God, Jos is still standing strong.
So just to confirm, you are an indigenous of Jos. What local government are you from?
Panshin local government, sir.
Right. So what exactly happened on the...
I think on Saturday, today is Monday. It happened on Saturday when a convoy of 5 vehicles were coming back from Bauchi, where they went to attend an annual, they call it a Zikir program, hosted by the Sheikh Dahir Bauchi, a prominent sheikh in the north, and 5 buses conveying the travelers, according to the narrative, that they were on their way back to their state, Ondo. So they passed through Rukuba Road. And it was at that Rukuba Road that they were attacked. And 22, according to what we read, 22 of them were killed and others injured. So that's what happened.
So we want to be clear. Those who were killed belong to one ethnic group in Nigeria. Can you tell us the ethnic group they belong to?
Yes, very important. According to the narrative earlier, they wanted to sell this narrative to the world that those that were killed were Yoruba people from Ondo State. But from the outline, we saw the names that were published. All the names are Hausa Fulani names.
So those who are killed, we want to be clear. Is it Hausa Fulani or is it Hausa or Fulani? Because throughout this conversation on this medium, some people from the northern Nigeria have always told us to stop confusing people with this Hausa Fulani narrative. So are they Hausa or are they Fulani? We want to be clear.
Thank you, sir. You know, in the north of Nigeria, sir, because of the way that they have mixed, their names are not really the names of Hausa Bia. It's also the names of Fulani Bia. So just from seeing the names, maybe Abdullah Yerima, you don't know if that's either a Hausa or a Fulani. So how we group them here in Nigeria is mostly Hausa Fulani. But for those who have been attacking our people in their communities, killing people, they are Fulani headsmen.
Okay, we will come to that later. But who are those that the Nigerian security officials are accusing of carrying out the attacks and the killings? This last killing that happened on Saturday.
They are accusing the Irigwe.
Who are the Irigwe?
An ethnic group in a Kwasa local government area of Plateau State.
Right. Up till now, has anyone been arrested in connection with the killing?
Yes, according to the story, the day it happened, they said they arrested 7 people. And then the president gave an order, and the Inspector General of Police deployed a DIJ, Deputy Inspector General of Police, to come and superintend over the security situation in Jos. And right from when they came, I think they must have done more arrests, but I don't have the capacity to tell you at this point how many people are arrested.
All right. The 7 people who are arrested so far belong to what ethnic group in Nigeria?
No, until you see the profile of the, they've not released the names now of those that have been arrested. It's still ongoing. But I can just say that investigations are ongoing. So maybe after some time, maybe after their arrest, then they might not publish the names of those that were arrested as maybe the suspects.
Okay, now can you give us the background of the killing, that last killing that happened in this area of Plateau State? What is the background to the killing? Because the information we are getting is that the narrative we are reading in the media may not actually be the true state of affairs. So what is your opinion?
Yes, then let me start from the narrative. Immediately after this thing happened, the next day, Daily Trust newspaper published and with a very inciting headline that the Irigwe youths killed travelers, killed the Fulani travelers, and that narrative is very wrong because Rukuba Road, where this incident occurred, is a cosmopolitan area that hosts almost every Nigerian is there. The Igbos, the Yorubas, the indigenes of Plateau. So how can you just say the Irigwe were the ones that killed these travelers? That narrative is very wrong. That's number one. And number two, in the past 1 month, let me say in the past 3 months, the people of Basa local government, especially the Irigwes, who have been attacked. Bandits, Fulani headsmen have been terrorizing these areas around Jebu, Miango, villages around Miango have been sacked. More than 100 people slaughtered, more than 500 houses burned and destroyed, with thousands of refugees, internally displaced persons now, who have fled from their communities, from their villages, and most of them now are taking refuge in that same Rukuba Road area and then other parts of the city center. And for travelers from Bauchi State to want to access Ondo State through Rukuba Road is suspect. And that is why those that are attacked, of which we don't even know those that attacked these travelers, those that attacked them must have had a privileged information that these people might be up to some mischief, because Rukuba Road is not the normal route, let me use that word, for travelers coming from the northeast and from Bauchi. The normal route to follow is from Bauchi, you come out at Naraguta, Bauchi Road, you go through Bauchi Road terminus, and then Maraban Jama to Abuja or anywhere you're traveling to. So for these people to go through Rukuba Road, it's suspect, sir, because Rukuba Road is only a road that is mostly known by the indigenous people of Plateau, and maybe by other people who live around that area. And this Rukuba Road is also inhabited by Christians, if I can use that word, by people of a particular faith, Christians. And so for you to see Muslims traveling on that road, sir, normally, on a good day, they will not use that route. And so for people traveling, load, 5 buses with the pictures of their sheikh, and then only God knows what they were carrying in those buses. But from the information we got, that they were carrying a lot of dangerous weapons. And so those that attacked them will also tell you that they did that in self-defense, because they suspect that these travelers were going to proceed to Miango, where these people, that was the day the Irigwe people were going to bury the slain. And so the Irigwe people on that same day, sir, were having a procession from the Plateau State Specialist Hospital, and they were trekking, not moving vehicles. They said they will have a walk from Plateau specialist hospital in the city center, and then they will move in a procession through Rukuba Road to their towns and villages. And so that same route is a route that these people, these travelers, chose to use on that day. So, you know, it's something that brings back memories of what happened in the last regime during the Goodluck Jonathan administration and during the Jonah David Jang administration as governor of Plateau State, where a serving senator was killed and a member of the State House of Assembly. And then this same Fulani headsmen or terrorists attacked the mourners on that day. So people are very, very, very careful and sensitive. And so I think those that must have stopped this this convoy that was traveling through Rukuba Road to Ondo, according to them, must have had a privileged information that these people are terrorists, and they are just only going to find access to Miango and continue the killings.
So basically, what you are saying is, one, that these Hausa Fulanis that were killed,
yes, sir,
are not Yoruba from Ondo State. That the Hausa Fulani, and you are saying that they may not be innocent victims after all, but may actually be foreign militia. Is that what you are saying?
Yes. Yes. From the privilege, that's what I'm telling you, sir. You know, with what has happened, with the benefit of hindsight, I can tell you for free that these people, maybe as an indigene of Plateau and with what we know, these people are terrorists. I can assure you that no Hausa Fulani in his right sense will use Rukuba Road as a route to travel to even Abuja or travel to, and then say they are using that route to travel to Ondo. I can tell you for free, sir, that nobody uses that route. Commercial drivers and people traveling don't use Rukuba Road. They don't. They don't use Rukuba Road. And so definitely those that attacked them, waylaid them and attacked them, must have had privileged information, and then in order to mitigate the mayhem, the harm that's already been visited upon their people. Everybody will have to defend themselves. The situation.
Okay, let me ask at this point. You gave examples of attacks on the indigenes by the herdsmen militia during the time of Goodluck Jonathan and previously. But this year, do you recollect any attack by these so-called herdsmen?
Several attacks.
Can you give us specific instances of where the indigenous people have been attacked and killed by these Fulani militia? Any evidence? Any specific examples?
Yeah, particularly now, maybe to give you specific information of maybe the villages, the time, everything. I don't have that ready now, but I can tell you that from 2001 to date, 20 years.
I mean this year, are there reports of the Fulani militia killing this year? Can you give us, even if not date, just give us instances of what you have had?
In the last 6 months, attacks have been carried out in Riom, local government, very likely local government, where the same Fulani herdsmen are killed, maimed, and in Bassa local government now, which is the area of interest. In the last 3 months, the Irigwe people have suffered massive casualties.
Can you give us instances? Because this happened in the Irigwe people area, for instance. Are there reports of Fulani militia attacking Irigwe people in that area?
Yes.
Recently, this year.
Yeah, this year, sir. Last month, like I said, 3 weeks ago, I think.
Where exactly?
Attacked a village called Jebu Miango. This is specific. And killed more than 100 people in Jebu Miango. burnt more than 500 houses.
Was that in the news? Okay, yes, I think, yeah, that's in the news, right?
It was in the news everywhere. You can check that. That's the latest.
Okay, sorry, please hold on there, Mr. Philip. Yeah, let's listen to maybe Daniel is raising up his hand. Maybe he has information on this particular question because people,
please.
People will be asking if you are saying, for instance, that the people who attacked these gentlemen or people and killed about 20 or more of them, if they are acting on fear of their lives, maybe because of attacks, people will be wondering what specific attacks will have prompted such a reprisal. So let's hear from Daniel. Daniel, please, can you help us here?
Yeah, I just want to respond to what he has been trying to say from your previous question. You are asking about some previous attacks by the Fulani militia on the Ribe community. I am speaking from Miango right now. I live here, and I'm fully aware of what has been happening. The attacks here have been so serious beginning from 2017, and it has never ceased since then up till today. They have moved from village to village, sacking communities, destroying houses. At this point, more than 500 people have been killed. So it's not just a matter of 2021. It started long before now. Philip has just mentioned the issue of 2001. I just want to throw back again. The massive Jos crisis of 2001 started in Miango when the Fulanis on December 30th, just began to set fire on crops that were already harvested and were still in the fields before they were moved. By that time, Fulanis and the people were living peacefully. And all of a sudden, they started setting fire on the harvested crops. And from that moment, they all fled from Rugeland completely. They were no longer living there. And they started living on the outskirts. That preceded the massive Jos crisis that resulted into the burning down of the Jos terminus market and a lot of things. Since that time, there has never been peace in Plateau State. In the last 4 years, let me say from 2017, so many villages, so many communities have been wiped out that presently there are no people living there. Philip has just mentioned the era of Goodluck Jonathan and Jonah David Jang, when many Birom communities were also sacked by this same Fulani militia, and they have changed the names of those villages. They've replaced the names with their Fulani names, and they have occupied those places. Now, the recent one, which Philip is talking about, happened between Miango, not just between Miango and Jos. This is just a distance of about 20 kilometers. The 3rd Armored Division is situated in this place. And the experience so far is that whenever the GOC becomes a Fulani man, then there's going to be, then the Fulanis begin to attack, they go on rampage and begin to attack, and then there is no control. And at this particular time, we're having a GOC who doubles as the commander of the Operation Safe Haven of the STF, the Special Task Force. Now, this is happening. You can imagine that for a whole week, the attacks have been going on around this axis that Philip is describing, the Jebu Miango, the Pachudu area, the Nchetahu, the DTV. All these places are villages around the same area. And for about a week, these people are destroying houses, killing people, and there is no security men, no soldiers coming there to intervene. You can imagine. And it did not stop there. Miango district is in Bassa local government, and then there's another district also called Kwal district, which is west of Miango. A lot of villages in the last few weeks, within the last 2 weeks, have been sacked completely by these Fulanis, and the refugees from all these places have moved to Jos. myself, my family, we have not been in Miango, we just returned. So the attacks here has been so massive, and the military did not come in to help. Even the police that were at Jebu Miango, which Philip is referring to, they were there and they could not stop anything. And when the thing was becoming so fierce, they told the few people that remained to run away, and they too fled. So that is what happened that resulted into massive destruction, and lot of houses, which Philip is talking about, that just destroyed. If you go to those places now, you don't find anybody living there. And all the farmlands in those areas have now become grazing lands for the Fulanis. Crops that have been grown, just getting close to maturity and harvest, have now been turned into grazing lands by the Fulanis. So that is just what I want to add on what Philip was saying. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Daniel. For the benefit of our listeners, please confirm again, what local government area of Plateau State are you from?
Bassa local government.
And you are Miango by ethnic origin?
Yes.
Right, okay. Who is the governor of Plateau State at the moment?
The governor of Plateau State is Samuel Bakola Long.
What is his ethnic group?
It's from Shandam local government.
Have your people made representations to the state governor and to the federal government regarding all these killings? If more than 500 people, did you say more than 500 people have been killed or displaced?
If you have been following up with the news, you will have heard even the representative for the Rukuba constituency in the state assembly visited the governor while these attacks were going on. And he waited, he was kept waiting for long. And after about an hour, based on his report, the governor sent someone to tell him that he is still sleeping and he had to leave. And he gave all these reports on the radio.
This same governor that I see on television visiting people and talking nonsense.
So the governor, until now, there has not been any visit from the governor or any report or any statement from the governor or even from the federal government regarding the killings in Rigoland. But with the killings on Saturday, you would have been seeing a lot of movement by the federal government, the police, the governor himself, and the military and all that. So it's like the lives of the natives of Plateau State do not matter like the lives of the others. This is not to justify whatever has happened on Saturday, but it is very, very wrong. Whoever did what happened in Jos on Saturday is not right. Nobody is justifying that. And as far as we are concerned, from Miango here, we believe that the aim was that is to blackmail the Yoruba people again. You know, it's something that is happening when we are burying people that have been killed within the week. And the burial was taking place. It was publicized everywhere. It's going to be a procession. And all of a sudden, these 5 buses came. We don't know how it happened. Rukuba Road, which is Philip is talking about, is the route that goes to the 3rd Armored Division. It's federal government road that goes from Jos to the 4th Armored Division. Now, they decided to take through that route, and Rukuba Road is part of Jos City, is in Jos North. It's not in Bassa local government. If there are people there at all, probably if there are 20% of Yoruba people and then 80% are other natives, how do you blame it on one particular ethnic group? Definitely, right. There are Yoruba people living there. And we don't know who is arrested now. It's possible it could, because as something is happening like this, definitely when they get in there, they're just going to be arresting anybody they find.
All right, we thank you very much. Let's get back to Philip. Philip, okay, if you are uncomfortable with the video, you can turn it off if you... Okay, I think you are muted. Please unmute yourself. Yes, I'm saying that if you are uncomfortable because of you have explained to all the circumstances that led you to still be there.
I'm comfortable, sir, but I'm still in the garden.
Okay. What I'm saying is that if you are uncomfortable with the video, you can turn your video off so that you can relax and speak freely. It's up to you.
No
All
problem.
right. So let me come back to you with regards to this killing.
Yes, sir.
Have the people in the locality, what efforts have they made actually to protect themselves? With regards to, so if the reported killings are actually that bad as painted by Daniel?
Sir, efforts. This morning I was speaking on an online TV, and I spoke about this, sir. The masses, let me use that word now, the people, the indigenous people of Plateau and Nigeria generally are facing these problems of banditry, herdsmen, killing people everywhere. Now, if you ask that what are the locals doing, you talk about self-defense. These same locals are people that when they acquire weapons, the same people, since this is more of a like a state-sponsored ethnic cleansing, I can call it a genocide that is state-sponsored, because of, I'm confident to say that because of this platform that I am, the people who are supporting these terrorists control the forces of passion. And so for the locals who, if they have information that the locals have acquired weapons, if I say weapons, I know you understand, weapons, the same guns and everything to protect themselves, the same government through their security forces will come to those communities and search and then seize all these security gadgets that the people have bought to protect themselves. So the locals in Nigeria are really in a terrible fix. And for our people on the plateau, we have severally, thank God on this platform, there are landmines that have a lot of information on this. Honorable Pams and Daggett and John Profi, they're all here. And they've formed local vigilantes. Now, these local vigilantes have been there right from 2001, when this cycle of violence started up to date, up to today, I speak to you. But the locals just barely, just the grace of God that's protecting the locals. Just the grace of God.
Okay, I thank you very much. Let me ask this question in another way. You have representatives at the federal level, you have representatives at the state level.
Yes.
You have the governor, you have all these people. You may even have people who have served in governments in the past. So why haven't there been concerted efforts to, well, I know what you answer, but still tell us. It's heartrending. Why have these things gone on for so long? What do you think have made these killings gone on for so long, since 2001, as you said?
Thank you so much, sir. In fact, almost a repeat of the question that came. When there's no justice, there can be no peace. Justice is the only thing that can guarantee peace in any society. And if over the years, the communities, the indigenous people, of which I feel I can speak better for, have been terrorized, they have been attacked, their properties, their means of livelihood destroyed, and they've not seen the perpetrators arrested. The judicial system is in disarray. Nobody can pinpoint and tell you that the headsmen from 2001, the bandits or terrorists, nobody can tell you that this is where they were prosecuted for witch courts and then they've been jailed. So you just hear that people were rounded up, taken to Abuja, and they were free. In the Jonah David Jang administration, arrested, but when they take them to Abuja, you won't hear anything again. The locals do, not just Plateau, across the country, have to resort to self-help, sir. Self-help to protect themselves. You know, the agenda really is ethnic cleansing. People's ancestral land by coming to, and then like in Plateau, as the earlier speaker said, sir, these terrorists are now inhabiting the lands of, if you go to Riom, Barkeladi, they've renamed the local villages, Fulani names, and they are living in that land. And if you say you're looking for the terrorist culprits, government doesn't have to go to mass. Government will just go to those Fulanis living in these same people's and houses that maimed, destroyed. So, injustice, sir. Now they will tell you that the or previous government are the ones sponsoring. No.
Okay, let me. I thank you very much. For the benefit of our listeners, this is Elombah Television. If you have any comment or any question to make, please raise up your digital hand and we'll call you. Thank you, Philip. Please wait. Maybe a question will come your way now or a comment that we would like you to respond to. Let's call on Ruang Pam Jr. first. Can you please unmute yourself? Go ahead, sir. What do you want to say?
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Some years back, during the elections, when the European Union was moving around, and they were interested in gender issues and the IDP. So it came to a point where they were asking, we're complaining so much about IDPs who have left Riom, who have left Bassa and other places, that what's happening? Unfortunately, it was the same time that IDPs who were hiding somewhere around Bassa after being taken out of their home, their relatives killed, in a single classroom within a school building, they were still ambushed and killed there. And just note that also, that is also the vicinity of the 3rd Armored Division. And also from other places around Riom, who find their way right to geosciences in Bokro in Jos South. The problem was still there. So they were asking me if it had something to do with the election. Then it dawned on me that these people are grabbing the land where the natives were. Polling units in those areas were not cancelled. Voting materials were still sent to those areas that were not inhabited by the original inhabitants. Suffice it to say that as we speak today, the elections for Jos North Bassa Federal Constituency is around the corner. And the former representative was from Jos North, with the Hausa Fulani man. The case dragged a bit, but finally it was to him. Unfortunately, he died in a motor accident. So INEC is compelled to have another election. Could it be that the intensification of killings around Jebu Bassa has a tonic of the coming elections? Thank you.
Well, that's a very interesting perspective you have just thrown here, and a telling question you have asked. Well, Philip, do you have any comment to make on what Mr. Pam have just said?
Interesting. My leader, the Prince, Lord, sir, is just trying to give you another perspective, sir. That people will bring different narratives now and tell you that the local, especially from what will I say now, the caliphate, the news media, they will tell you that these people what were they even really trust? That they are carnivorous man-eaters, that the locals were the ones during the last crisis that killed the House of Fulanis and you know, and so they are just trying to give a very negative narrative of the indigenous population. Yes, sir. The truth of the matter is that right from 2001 till date and continuous, their agenda is one. Their agenda is ethnic cleansing, and they destroy the lands of the people and send them packing, and they occupy. So this is all about the land grabbing people of the South and the Middle Belt. If you have noticed in recent time, the South, Southeast, Southwest, and the Middle Belt are already meeting on this same issue Ours is the practical development of what is happening in the nation. Plateau, we've been terrorized, and we know the assailants. They want to be truthful about this thing. And their sponsors will be truthful. They will put a stop to this. Here, there will be no longer crisis on the plateau. They are very peaceful people. They are a lot of other Nigerians, and that's why, as Ella told you, a lot of people to Jos, they don't want to leave Jos. They stay in Jos, marry in Jos. So Jos people are peaceful people, and these people, lands of the indigenous people, displace them. The ones that have been rising this state from 2001 till date. And it's not just talking about the Irigues in Bassa. Nobody knows what will happen tomorrow.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you. Philip, we'll come back to you. Sorry. Let's hear from John, please. Mr. Puffy, you are raising up your hand. Go ahead.
Yes. Thank you so much for the privilege to, speak here at this moment. I want to commend Philip Jwan for a job well done on this interview. Honestly speaking, I want to respond on or add to the questions you've earlier asked about what the representative doing. We have House of Reps, House of Assembly, we have a governor and all that, senators, all of it. I think for me, I agree that one, the issue that we are going through these issues is, well, justice, number one. Justice. Where there is no justice, you should be prepared for the eventuals. Everything, the eventuality that we are seeing today is because there is no justice. Number two, it's totally, completely, I would say, politics have also taken hold. If you are not a member of my own political party, there is nothing I can contribute. But let me be honest with you, this thing will consume all of us. It's not about Irigwe people. My wife is from Irigwe land. I am from Mangu local government, for instance. Yes, I'm from Mangu. My wife is from Irigwe community. And to be honest with you, I know what it has cost some of us in supporting the communities a lot when it comes to relief materials. We don't even want to mention about that. But this thing is not about them alone. Politics has played its role. Nobody wants to tell the truth. Nobody wants to say, if I say this thing, it's going to affect my party, it's going to affect my political leader, it's going to affect this. But to be honest, God is a just God. He will judge everybody because it will soon consume all of us. I can bet you that this thing is totally about ethnic cleansings. It's about ethnic cleansings. And since it's about ethnic cleansings, it will completely, look at what is happening in Afghanistan. It's exactly the replica of what is happening currently on the plateau and Nigeria as a whole. Nobody is safe. Taliban are taking over everywhere. And then the moment you keep quiet and you allow such things to happen, we will not be safe anymore. So for me, as a matter of fact, even what happens currently, recently, that they went around, including this morning, they ransacked and still pick people. All in this, what they call in Janta Adamu, they still pick people randomly. It's not fair. This thing had happened, yes. We should be able to say, okay, you don't just pick people on the street. I have been a victim of this some years ago. I have never participated in any crisis anywhere, but then I was even coming in from nowhere. You just picked you up on the road that you are, participated in this kind of a thing. But it's not right. Innocently. So you see, this issue is this. What has happened in time past? What have they been able to do about it? What are they able to, have they been able to bring the people to book? The whole places like the first speaker who contributed the first this thing from the angle, I can bet you all the challenges they went through within the period of time. Nobody came to their aid. Nobody visited them. Nobody says, okay, how many Fulani people were arrested or picked with all the killings that have been happening in those areas? Then tell me, where will justice be? So for me, I can tell you that this is time for us to put all ourselves together as Plateau people. Let's be patriotic. Let's unite as one family. because it is if once this thing finished from Miango now, we don't know where else it will go to. Nobody is saved. To be honest, nobody is saved. Okay, tell me the quick response that came up from Abuja. Quick response of arrest that came up from Abuja. Nobody cares about the people who were killed initially in Miango. Nobody cares. Nobody bothers about them. How many people were they picked? We will bring the perpetrators to book, normal language. And the book refused to fill up. And then this thing that happens, just the moment there was a swift reaction, and then they mob the people. Okay, let me give you another example. I went into Plateau Hospital today, and nobody knew I came to Plateau Hospital. I went to interview the so-called Fulani people that were victims of these circumstances. But to be honest with you, I'm not supporting what happened. But I want the security people to do their thorough investigations. These people don't even know themselves. These people, they are not genuinely from, Ondo State. I even asked somebody, said, me, I'm not from Ondo. I am from Oyo State. So you see, the narrative have been changing from different things. I just do 3-4 samples, I left. I have my own findings. So you can imagine, now the government will cover them up, they mop in up, come in, give solidarity visit, they do political kind of a kangaroo arrangement, and then that's just it. People started mourning, and then they said, no, it's okay. All these people, yes, they are Fulanis. And although people says, well, we have not on this list, we have not even seen and identified them as people from Ondo. Do a thorough thing. Don't just take one side because they are Fulani people, then they should just be able to be protected, and whatever it is. Search them genuinely and know what is their mission and what are they coming, where are they coming from. Some people say they are coming from coming from Bochi. Some says they are on their way to Bochi. Some says that all those stories that are just in. Some says we don't even know ourselves. I asked 2 patients within the same hospital today. In fact, they don't even know his colleague. As a Fulani brother, he doesn't even know the colleague that they were together. Mention the name. He doesn't even know the name of his own brother. So tell me, let's be fair to ourselves. Let's go extra mile. Let's do genuine findings. Plateau State belongs to all of us. I am from Plateau. We must protect this land. If we don't do it, it's left for us. And we are ready to serve the consequences. Please, I'm so sorry about it, but honestly, we are mourning. People are now currently suffering. Why? Because of the 24 hours curfew. I'm under 24 hours curfew. My own jurisdiction fall there. You have not moved out since on, on Sunday. We have not been out. Right from churches, they asked us to shut down churches and go home. And we've been home since Sunday up to this moment. So, it's not fair. So that's my own earnest contribution.
Sorry, let me be clear.
Unite ourselves and come back as Plateau people, as one family. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me be clear. There is a 24-hour curfew now in Plateau State. Or is it every part of Plateau State?
No, this is only in Jos North. And let me tell you, like earlier Philip has explained, that the seat of power is in Jos South. But the economic power of the state is in Jos North. Jos North is where the economic power lies. The political power is in Jos South. So if the economic power is shut down since Sunday, today is Tuesday. And I can bet you, don't be surprised the governor don't care. Tomorrow, he will not even think of lifting up the curfew. We're still under 24 hours. No movement. How do the people survive?
Thank you very much. Philip, can you unmute yourself? Okay, yeah, it appears this is not a recent phenomenon. So would you say that under the present administration, these killings have worsened, or how would you rate it?
Very simple answer. It has worsened, sir. And it will only continue to get worse, whether President Buhari and the APC administration, both at the center and it can only get worse. My leader, Puffy, just give you a very good of about Afghanistan. You can see America has been there for 20 years, but who took over the land? The same Talibans that the American. Why? Because those Talibans are fighting, as they would say, their God. And so for you, that is right. These things have to do with ideology, sir. Plateau, terrorizing our communities, and that is a continuation of the Madam Fodio jihad. Where you say on these platforms like this, we say it's only when maybe we're on channels or AI and play politics. But here we must say the truth as it is. People are on a mission to wipe the indigenous people and, in fact, the indigenous people of Nigeria. Except we find a way where we'll come together and people, our heritage and our land, these people are on a mission to continue. So it can only get worse. During these are the propaganda that President Goodluck couldn't fight. So they came and during the President Jonathan, and it was Boko Haram. Boko Haram only, capturing some place.
All right, we thank you. So we are coming to the end of this program now. Any other person who has a comment or question is free to do so. We are now moving to the last segment. So what is the solution? What solution can we prefer to halt these killings? It doesn't matter whether it is a Fulani blood that is shed, whether it's any ethnic blood that is shed, whether it's any Plateau man. Killing is killing. Someone is dying. So what is the solution? Where do we go from here? Anyone? Contributors? We call on Mr. Pam again. Your solution? Wrong, Pam. Your solution? Unmute yourself.
Hello. Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, I guess you can hear me now.
Yes, go ahead.
There is one solution. These people have a strategy of divide and conquer. And once we remain as isolated blocks, we'll be like wildebeest in front of lions. But if we can come together, these areas, indigenous people of Nigeria, we will give them a run for their money. If we can be united and stick together, if something is happening in Irigwe land, I would love it if my brothers from the South will speak against it. So we know you are trying to kill these people and finish them. If we keep quiet, you will finish them and come and join and come and disturb us. So stop it. Let everybody put his voice out. These people cannot speak for themselves any longer because they are running to look for where to sleep, what to eat, what to give their children, don't even have time to mourn. Let us be the voice for the voiceless as indigenous people of Nigeria. Thank you.
We thank you, Ms. Briggs. We are happy to have you here. Thank you. Please, thank you for joining. What is the solution you are giving us today? You are from the South.
First of all, let me just express for what it is worth. Let me just express my my pain. I can't imagine how people like Philip are feeling. He's a young man. But sadly, as someone who is older than him, I remember myself at his age, and I don't think that I ever dreamt at his age that we will come to this point. I feel for him. I feel for all the ethnic nationalities in Nigeria. And it's about time that we really, like the last speaker said, we have to come together. It's no longer about who is taking the oil. It's no longer about who wants to be independent. The reality is that only people who are alive can be independent. But the very first thing we must do is to come together. All this thing about we don't trust Yoruba people, we don't trust Igbo people, we don't trust South people, they are lazy, they are this person is that, all that we must throw it in the garbage. And what is very key now is our very life, our very existence. I've spent the past 24 hours just watching Afghanistan unfold. And what is happening in Afghanistan the way those human beings were running after that plane. And if you and I have expressed this to you before, that is what is already in Nigeria. It's already in Nigeria. People like Philip are expressing what is happening to them. And I have told the people in my area, I've told the Niger Delta people, I've told my people, the Igbo people, I've told my friends, the Yoruba people, it is not about politics anymore. It's not about APC, it's not about PDP, it's not about the chairman. None of the politicians can do anything right now. The people who can do something are you and I, all of us. We must see that we have to abandon this 2023 election. There is nothing like 2023 election. Afghanistan, Taliban took Afghanistan. Was it by election? Wasn't by election. And they strolled in because they have so terrorized the people of Afghanistan that even the army walked away for them to walk in. And if anybody thinks, oh, it's not going to happen for Nigeria, you're kidding yourself, because it is coming. It will cross, it's already crossed the River Niger. It is just a matter of when do they plan to do it. And I've told my people the Niger Delta is the last port of call for this plan. I've told them, if they finish with the middle belt, they've entered the southwest, they've entered the southeast, the last place they're coming is the Niger Delta. So if we can, as the last speaker said, all the ethnic nationalities, it's not about constitution set. All the ethnic nationalities, all of us together stand on one side. And these people on their own stand on one side. Who are they? But it is the fact that we do not want to stand together that is our problem. It's not these people. These people are not our problem. If we stand together, they are not our problem. They are our problem now because we allow them to be so. We can't just stand by and watch what is unfolding unfold. Every day we're on Zoom. Every day we're on Zoom, 2, 3, 4 hours on different Zoom, repeating the same thing, crying the same cry until when? So please, oh my people, let us get together, everybody by word of mouth. Tell the next person that we must come together. I see a lot of middle belt people here by their names and all of that. I mean, we have to come together. It's not about politics. It's not about who's going to be the president of Nigeria. It is about, are we going to be alive? Wow, I don't know. I don't know.
I thank you very much, Ms. Briggs. You are well noted for your activism in this area of life. Thank you very much again for attending our meeting tonight. Let's call on Pamson, please. What's your solution? Pamson, what's your solution?
Thank you. First and foremost, you talked about legislators. What can they do? Do what they should do. My brother, what can our legislators do? Assembly. All issues of national importance from the plateau is all about the number of people who are in the night, communities that have been, farmlands that have been brought down. So apart from speaking on the floor, the only way is when you reach out to the executive. In this same Miango, the representative of the Miango, when he has executive power, and he was told that the government can't see him. So what can the legislators do? Would the legislature get that very clear? Number two, let's consider this situation. About 500 people have been killed in the same Miango, about the same Miango, the same Irigwe people. About within 3 weeks, their houses and everything raised. There was governor, there was no even any issues with actions, but 23 people who unfortunately were entire executive machinery rose up to their defense. Does that make sense? So if we cannot have justice where every life matters, where every life is accorded the same value, we have. So next to that is the indigenization question. Centerpiece to indigenization. You must be the son of the soil to be an indigene. The Irigwe people, Plateau is said to have 3.5 million inhabitants. The entire Irigwe nation, this small child that is born today, to the oldest person is not up to 500,000 people. Other land, anywhere they can call their own, they are not existing anywhere in the world, in the whole globe. The only is that Miango axis. So, and then you are now going to clear them from there and then buying their land, taking over their farms, living in their houses that they have built, taking possession of it, and you're talking about what is the solution? The solution is return back the land to the people who owns the land. If the South are crying that they are being mesmerized because of the mining of the minerals that is being crude oil, better in their own case, but they even have the land. It is the destruction that they are crying for. Yeah, they are even taking the land. We are not giving the possession to that land. That is the difference. In our own case, we are even saying we do not belong there, that this land have been conquered by their forebearers and Usman Danfodio. Then you are asking, what is the solution? The solution is, can the Fed do what is right? Return, protect us in our own natural inhabitant that we found ourselves in. You recall a little bit back, you can browse it. When the vice president visited the crisis area in Rio, the federal government promised 10 billion naira for reconstruction. As I'm speaking to you, then it was Osibanjo. As I'm speaking to you today, not even one dime. Our legislators have brought this issue not once, not twice in the floor of the House. And there is a House resolution that this money should be released. As I'm speaking to you, it has not. So now we have a Fulani, 23 people dying, and then the Sheikh had expressed opening to get to the villa. He spoke with Mr. President, and when he's addressing the press, he said compensation should be paid to those people, and the government is busy. If you hear the phone call, they have affirmed to him that they will pay compensation. So what happened to our own brothers and sisters that have been killed right from 2001? What happened to the lands that have been taken care of? So if you are paying compensation to any other person because of this unfortunate scenario, it's our own fortunate. All of them are unfortunate scenario. Which one is more unfortunate? You walking on the road and somebody who will come to your own house in your own locality, kill you in the sleep, you and your children and the entire family wipe out. Please, let's tell ourselves the truth. We need justice. It's only justice that can get things back. So we want our land back. If you want us to, the way forward, another solution to this is this Southern Middle Belt Alliance. The Southern people, especially I'm referring to the South and the Southeast, should see us as the shield of the Fulani encroachment. If they don't support us to protect the invasion of the Fulanis, it will get there. So if we are the shield, we want to see the South and the Southeast giving us what it takes to protect ourselves here, so that we will be able to create that fault line and then ensure that these people do not move down south. That is the storyline. So we need that alliance and we need to make it work. Finally, I need to say this. When irrationality is allowed to fester, irrational occurrence will take the day. And that is what is happening now. When the system that is supposed is acting on irrationality, then they should be ready to be able to address the irrational occurrence that is bound to happen. And there is no two ways about that. What has just happened is the beginning of the iceberg, because as long as they will continue keeping death of the indigenes, then obviously it means that for people to know we are suffering, then this kind of irrational attitude will come up. So I agree with the last speaker. She was very clear about it. We need to rise up. Rise up and speak boldly. No, not being Christian, because we are only moving with the Christian mentality that, okay, no, we should allow God to come down and come and be our. These people do not understand that language. Lebanon is a case in study. Turkey is a case in study. This thing is happening here. What is happening in Afghanistan? Don't rise up to the occasion and get the right president in 2020. If election will have to happen, we must define and ensure as the president must come from the south. The president must come from the south. Any idea of having a northern president is a dead issue as far as we, the middle belt, are seeing it. That way, when we have a southern president, we may be able to, as it is, as a country, probably, and then address. I will stop here because this thing is very irritating.
Thank you very much, Thompson. I remind anyone listening to us that Mr. Lagat said something about Southern and Middle Belt Alliance. If you are interested in joining the movement, contact Mr. Thompson, or you can contact me. I have put my phone number on the chat room. Next, let's listen to Dr. Obiareri, please. Solution? What solution are you preparing for us?
It's quite unfortunate that every time we gather to lament about the fuller terrorism that is taking place all across Nigeria, people complain, people mourn, and then things continue to get worse than it used to be. I've never seen a country where government when other people are being killed and all those stuff. First, South East and South South, to East and the South South are also having their. Plateau State has a government. Trend is being people declare 24 hours curfew. Nigeria and the members of the State Assembly should rise up and lead the charge to protect their people. If you are waiting for the government and the agencies to protect you, you are wasting your time. The people must rally. Right to life. Right to life is a non-negotiable right. Is a right that is higher than any constitution. Is a right that is higher than any other law. You must survive before you begin talking about what to eat or what to drink. The indigenous people must rally, be united, work together, irrespective of politics, irrespective of tribe, irrespective of tongue. The people must rise up to defend themselves. South, South, Southeast, Southwest, Middle Belt. This is not the time to play politics, but the people must also call out their governors. The governor of Benue State is one governor in the Middle Belt who has risen up to openly challenge authorities in Abuja to call out their hypocrisy and their double-faced actions. Your people, the people of the Middle Belt, especially people of Plateau State, must rise up to call out their governor. The governor must take a stand. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Naimeka Obiareri. Finally, okay, I think two more hands before we call it a day. Meanwhile, at the end of the conversation, if you have anything to say, I will switch off the recording and stop the live streaming if you have anything sensitive to say. So just give us 3 more minutes to round up the session. Mr. Joseph Anang, please unmute yourself.
Okay, good. So good evening, everyone. Yeah, I've been listening actually to the discussions, and I really like them. But I just have some messages for everyone, the perpetrators and the victims, and well, the parties in conflict. The first message I have: there is no injustice that lasts forever. So those people who are living on injustice right now, if they think they are continuing to be unjust to people forever, they are making a big mistake. It has to stop. Check history. Check even what is happening right now. It is not just possible. Secondly, people have to know that there is no land that is taken forcefully and kept forever. It will not happen. It does not happen. People will get their land back. People will, in fact, talk about resources generally, including power. People will get it back. See what's happening in Afghanistan. See what happened in Vietnam with the US. It's happening to the US again in Afghanistan today. You can't take power from people. You can't take land from people by force and dream that you are going to keep that land forever. It's not going to work. It will not. It's just a matter of time. So we have people in this room who are guilty of that, and they are thinking that way. I want them to know they're living in a fool's paradise. It's not possible. They will lose that land. They will get that land back. They will have to give that land back. I hope they will not have to give it back with their tails in between their legs. The third message I have is, the only thing you can know, you can be certain of when you want to start a fight. The only thing you can be certain of is how to start that fight. But you can never ever know how it's going to end. You can't. No matter how prepared you are. We are seeing it's happening in Afghanistan. We saw it happen in Vietnam. So those who are attacking people now and claiming their lands and visiting injustice on them and fighting them and killing them because you think you're powerful, you have resources, you have else to you that they don't have, I can tell this cow is going to end. Number 4, every conflict ends on the negotiation table. So why after the catastrophe, after the apocalypse, why do we have to get to the apocalypse before we go to the negotiation table? Why must we make the negotiation table the last thing that we do? The best thing to do is when there's a problem, we sit and negotiate it. Or at worst, somewhere along the line in the middle or early in the beginning of the conflict, we negotiate and get a solution to it. The truth is, even during war, while war is going on, the killings and the destruction that are taking place in the war front, the generals, they are busy negotiating. Generals on both sides are busy on the negotiating. So why should we have to go through the apocalypse? So those who are fighting and they think they can fight to finish until the end of it, and there will be no negotiation, they are going to get everything they want or anything they want by force, are only living in a fool's paradise. It's not going to work. One of the messages, the last message is revenge. It doesn't make sense.
Sorry, what do you say now?
Revenge does. Revenge.
Okay.
Revenge. Yeah, revenge is actually doesn't make sense because it's just a cycle of death and destruction. That's what the revenge is. Because
so what do you propose? People who have suffered these killings, what do you propose that they do?
Yeah, okay, good. Because I'll come to that. Because today's perpetrators are tomorrow's victims, and tomorrow's victims are perpetrators the next day. So it goes with you see, we keep trading places like that until everyone is 6 feet down.
So what do you actually propose? What do you actually propose as the solution? That's the session we are in now. That's the session.
Yeah, I like the proposition. Yeah, I wanted to give that message before I made my proposition. I totally agree that there must be, there is divide and rule. There must be, the people who are affected now must come together. The people of Plateau must unite. The people of the Middle Belt must unite. The people of the Middle Belt and the South must unite. Because I'm telling you, what we're dealing with is an agenda. And it's difficult to deal with an agenda. Agendas have no place for reason. No place for reason. So, unity. We must avoid that divide and rule. I'm from Kaduna State anyway, Southern Kaduna. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Atang. I'm sure very soon you will be aware of this movement that Mr. Thompson has just talked about, Southern and Middle Belt Alliance. Thank you very much. Let's listen to Sonny's iPhone, please.
Good evening, everyone. I am quite kind of happy with the discussion thus far.
Do you, sorry, Sonny, is it deliberate that you are not showing your face? I just want to confirm.
Yes, is the
okay, it's okay. No, if it is deliberate, that's fine. That's okay.
No. The reverse a kind of camera is actually not working, so that's why.
Okay.
I have difficulty. Kind of. I will have not because I don't want to show my face.
No, go ahead. Our time is fast running out.
Yeah. I believe that it has come to the time when the Plateau people must start pushing out their own narrative for the world to listen to. Because over time, what I have discovered that has happened to the Plateau person, or to the Middle Belters as it were, it is a complacency on our own part, not to actually kind of push out our own story and our own narrative for the world to also listen and know truly what is happening. And I think mediums like this are good avenues by which a kind of the world gets to listen to what pain or what difficulty our people are going. Going by what Thompson Daggett said in regards to what actually played out, how to kind of the powers that be today are struggling and throwing themselves all over the place, trying to kind of play to the gallery, when the true essence of the whole thing should have been to protect the Plateau person. Unfortunately, we have a situation where that is not happening. And people seem to have lost confidence in whatever it is that is going on. To round it up, I believe the Plateau person, like I said, must begin to look at ourselves as one and a kind of come together to push out the narrative that the world will listen to. Because over time, what I've discovered is that we speak as individuals, and once it becomes someone's problem, like the Irigues, the Gamai man or the Angas man says, that is their problem, let them deal with it. But like I have heard a kind of different speakers say, I mean, it's divide and rule thing. The moment they are done with the other people, they come and start attacking a kind of the rest of the people. So I feel there is a need for the Plateau person, for the Middle Belter, to speak with one unified voice that will give us the traction that we need moving forward. Without that, I believe these people will continue to have things their own way. Because what I have discovered is that most of the time, our leaders want to be politically correct in everything they do. And that is why you find out that most of the time they play to the gallery instead of addressing the issues that a kind of as it is. Look at these things consistently since 2001. When you look at the narrative that is being given to the world as if a particular section of the society is the one that kind of have suffered the brunt of what has transpired, when in the true sense of the word, the indigents are the ones that have always paid the ultimate price in terms of what goes on the plateau. Unfortunately, we are not putting those narratives out there. And these people, a kind of, maybe deliberately, a kind of, or being sponsored by people who have the wherewithal and given the political backing to be able to push these stories through. It is high time that the Plateau person must do away with self and look at our collective bargain if we must get it right. Thank you very much. Hello.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much. We are gradually coming to the end of this conversation, but we cannot go without allowing Daniel and Ms. Briggs to make a final comment, but please make it brief. Daniel, please.
All right. Thank you very much once again for the opportunity to make this last point. I just want to draw attention to something that the wrong narrative and the wrong perspective that all these killings had been given. It has always been called farmers' herders clashes. It is not. I want to speak based on what I know is happening on this axis. The Fulanis who have been doing these attacks, they do not live with the people. They come from wherever they are living to attack the people. Before now, it used to be in the night, and presently it happens in broad daylight. Now, how do you call that a clash when someone is just sleeping in the night and then you just come to attack him? Now, there is this other idea that conflicts end on a table. In this case, conflicts don't end on a table. In this scenario, every time the Fulanis continue to attack these people and kill people in their dozens, and then the military that's supposed to be there to stop these attacks will wait until these things happen. Then they invite the people and the Fulanis to a meeting, to have a roundtable meeting. And every meeting that has ever held, led by the military, here at the 3rd Armored Division, after a meeting, when the people are coming back, they are attacked by the Fulanis. Now, how can conflicts end on a table? When the people are saying, okay, let's agree and stop this, stop it. Come and live with us. And yet, after all those agreements, they are attacked. Just recently, the district head of Miango was attacked after attending such a meeting. He narrowly escaped. So, it's not the same. Ethnic nationalities in Plateau and in the Middle Belt have to understand what is actually happening now. The leadership of the state, the government is not working towards helping the people. We have to understand this. Even the curfew that is going on in Jos right now, yesterday, even during the curfew, the Fulani still came and killed people at dawn just near the wildlife park. So while people are in their homes, the Fulanis are busy moving with their AK-47s. They came in grazing right into residential areas, very close to the wildlife park. So is the curfew really helping? They killed someone yesterday by shooting.
Okay.
So we have to understand that there is a plan for ethnic cleansing that is going on. And any military, even within the military, if you have a military personnel that stands out to do it, he is not allowed to do it. I will cite a case of a Major General Atolagbe in 2019. When he came to head the Operation Safe Haven in Plateau State, he started arresting them. The whereabouts of these people are known. The killers, they are known. It's not like they are unknown gunmen, they are known. And when this man came and was arresting them, he was ordered to send them to Abuja. And when he refused to send them to Abuja, he was removed. So we have to understand what is happening in Nigeria, and the ethnic nationalities have to understand and come together. Those who are in the head of affairs of the state, they are playing with their principles and they do not want to jeopardize what they have. It's like not wanting to put Sansan in their gari. We understand what is happening in Nigeria today. So that is just my point.
Thank you very much. Finally, once again, if you have anything sensitive or information to give us, please wait. When we stop recording and when we stop streaming, then we can have that further discussion for the next 5 minutes. Let's hear from Ms. Briggs, and finally, we hear from our chief guest, Philip, for his concluding thoughts. Ms. Briggs, please.
Obviously, I think I would rather wait until you turn off the streaming.
That's very well. Thank you very much. Okay, our chief guest, Philip, what are your concluding thoughts?
Wow, they've said everything. I'm so happy to be here, this platform with our mommy. I'll call her the Amazon of human rights in Africa. Mommy, thank you, Briggs, and quite a lot of other people that we met here. So, the truth of it is that we will continue shouting to change the narratives, as they said. We, on every platform we get, we will continue to say the truth. Just like those that are Christians, they say, you shall know the truth shall set you free. The truth, sir, is that this is an agenda. Thank God, if you've heard, there's a unanimity of opinions here. There's an agenda. And it's very difficult for you, sir, to tame a cultural and religious revolution. These South Fulani people have an agenda. And except the people of the South and the Middle Belt come together, as most speakers have said, and forge our future, because I see the future, that our destinies were together. So we must come together, the Southern Middle Belt Alliance must come together, begin to plan, sir, long time going, because I don't see this marriage with these people who have this agenda in the next how many years going forward, because they can, just like the Taliban, they can't change that. They have an idea that they want to conquer people, kill people, and take over their land. And we on the plateau will not allow anybody to kill us, and the people of Middle Belt will not allow anybody to kill them. We have God, and no matter what they have, their agendas, we will defeat them. And our land will be preserved, our people will be preserved, and their heritage will be preserved. Thank you, sir, for this opportunity.
All right, we thank you very much. Thank you, Philip, for being with us tonight, and thank you all those who made contributions. We will now end the first segment of this discussion.